Now here's the thing, since I moved I have a lot of items in storage. So a few weeks ago I was scouring through my boxes looking for something else, and I found this unit. It is a Mini Classics Donkey Kong Jr. LCD unit. Now you might be wondering, if you are below the age of 15, what the fuck an LCD unit is. This is what we used to play with, kids. Now for the 15-year-olds and younger, this is way before the Nintendo Switch and mobile gaming was so present like it is now. Now LCD games were the absolute shit, spanning from the mid-80s towards the beginning of the 90s. There was no other possible way to experience mobile gaming back then. You could find these LCD games everywhere in every shop, and they were hella expensive. You had LCD games based off every franchise possible in the 80s and 90s. The units were just made at low cost and sold at premium prices. And the reign of LCD units ended when the Game Boy Classic was released. LCD units quickly faded out afterwards. Not only Nintendo was releasing the Game Boy Classic, but other companies like Sega introduced their Game Gear. So what do I have in my hand right here? Now this is a Donkey Kong Jr. Mini Classics. This is more like a novelty. This is an official Nintendo licensed product. And the real truth is, if you're not from the 80s or the 90s, you wouldn't give 10 shits about this. This is purely marketed at people who were born in the 80s and the 90s. It even has a keychain attached to it, like I'm going for a casual stroll with an LCD unit next to me. For what? Well, whatever you think about LCD games being a novelty right now or useless, they paved the way for mobile gaming as you see right now before you. So I'm going to unbox this LCD unit and show you what the craze was all about. Let me start off with a public announcement. Why the freaking hell do companies still use blister packaging? It is one of the most frustrating things to ever be created, and it's also extremely eco-unfriendly with all this useless plastic. For God's sake, just use paper or carton packaging. There's a plastic tab to prevent the batteries from operating, so I'll pull that out. It doesn't work. So my initial reaction was to open it and replace the batteries. Well, what do you know, somehow this bitch got scared and decided to boot up. All LCD graphics are baked inside the unit itself. Oh, and viewing angles on these babies are disastrous, by the way. So here's the game. It's a different approach towards the normal Donkey Kong game. You are the son, I think, of Donkey Jr. need to rescue his dad. Now this might look easy, and at first glance it is, but the controls are stiff as hell. There's no explanation, and the grab hook points for the player are visually unclear. I know you have to grab the key or something, but after like 30 tries, I gave up. There's a reset button on the back, which resets the high score I think, and shows all the graphics again. And wow, there's even a flip stand here, so you can set down the unit. I have really no clue why though. Maybe to place it in a display cabinet? Now I wasn't planning on doing this, but hey, let's open up this little baby and see what's inside. The infamous and standard button sized batteries that are on every LCD unit for decades. Inside you'll find the usual hardware, a PCB motherboard, wires, and a tiny speaker which provides the bleeping sounds. Underneath the PCB is where the rest of the hardware is located. The graphical screen, rubber button tappers, and the plastic directional pad. And then you're left with just the case. It is funny to me to see how simple these animated graphic boards are, but they need to be correctly animated in order to let the LCD animations line up properly for the player. Well, quite the journey, but it's time to put the thing back together in a working state. No graphics. Ah, there you are. So there you have it. I showed you the ins and outs of this LCD unit and gave you a little history lesson. Don't forget to sub and click that notification bell as well if you like this content. And I'll see you on the next retro gaming video.